I'm Daniella Turbin and I'm an artist. In 2022, I went on a 367-day walk around Great Britain and I passed through every county of Britain. Came off the back of the pandemic, and during that time everyone had been out exploring their landscape, their local landscape through walking, but then it felt as though things had changed and we'd gone into old habits. We're not going out walking as much, and then seeing where do we go from here, and asking people to go back and reconsider that time. Prior to setting off on the walk, I set myself the project of walking to every square on the Ordnance Survey map of Britain, and so I wanted to walk to get a general overview of Britain, and then from there I could go on further walks. So this is just me making a rough outline of Britain with my body and walking. So that was my original intention for the walk. And on the walk I wanted to connect with people who knew their area and get them to take me out walking in their area, in their local area. So on the walk, I suppose I didn't research beforehand. I just went with no set motivation, and just let the landscape speak to me, if that makes sense. So no prejudgment. So when it came to photographing the walk, I chose an analogue camera because it feels like you've got the physicality of the walk, and the film mirrors the length of the walk. So originally I took pictures in black and white because I intended to colour them in pigments that I later wanted to collect while I was walking, but then I've just stuck with black and white. My practice has always been quite monochrome. To me, it feels like these photographs weren't necessarily taken by me. It feels like they could have been taken at another moment in time, and they're not necessarily rooted in this time. The photographs have got bits of dust on them, and then there's got watermarks from the processing, and they're not immaculate, and to me that feels could have been taken out of an archive. So every morning before I pack up my tent, I'd write in my diary. Over the duration of the walk I sent all my diaries home, and my films and my logbooks, and so over the past year I've been going through and methodically editing the diary and my logbooks to create a book about the walk, and that was what formed the basis for this exhibition and the works that we've selected. But that's just a glimpse of what was in the book. From editing the book, I've selected key moments, I suppose, in the journey to give you just an impression of the journey. We've now got 18 audio recordings from the book. So in the exhibition we've got a few things. We've got a wall which contains some map drawings which were not made prior to the walk, and we've got the main wall which is collage of photographs. We've selected moments from the walk which lead up to a bigger image of when I set off on the walk and when I returned back home to Essington. And then in the corner of the room there's some paper objects which are the constant things throughout the walk, which are the tent and some clothes, and then some drawings of things that were in the camp. And then on the floor of the gallery space is a chalk grid, which is the base of the Ordnance Survey map, and this is going to be updated, so it'll change throughout the duration of the show. The way that the photographs and the paint's been applied is reflective of the urban environment, and going underneath a motorway bridge, and it's been quite quick and spontaneously made with buffs of graphites and white paint, and then scrawling of pencils and a thread in the background which reflects the thread that I drew on the maps throughout the duration of the journey. So along the background of the wall is the thread which reflects the elevation of the walk, and the position of the photos is reflective of it's where it is in the land. So I suppose it looks quite haphazard compared to a normal gallery hang. So you've got clouds which are positioned along the top, and then ground which is on the floor, and then more in the middle you've got scenes from on the walk. So at the start of the day, like when you're fresh, like it's easier than at the end of the day. I feel like towards the end of the day, I took a lot more pictures of trees and a lot more pictures of the ground. But I do like that part of I like that part of it because I feel like it's just reflective of like how I was feeling at that time, and like as a whole, all the images together like reflect not just the landscape but like how I was feeling at that particular time. Especially, there's like a sequence actually with Ben Nevis where like the film started to wear away as well, and like that just completely reflects that walk because it was raining, my camera got waterlogged, and they're the parts of like the photography that I enjoy. So outside of the gallery space there's some trestle tables, and these contain real objects from the walk, like such as my boots, and then there's also a selection of maps and the diaries and the logbooks. So on the mezzanine there's also a case, and that contains some of the preparatory work that I did for the exhibition. So it's like little maquettes and drawings of like the layout for the space, and it also contains lists and some plans. So through me walking as well, I wanted anybody to feel like they could do it, because I feel like a lot of people are like so scared like I was before I set off, and the thought itself is a lot scarier than the reality. So I think it's about like sharing my journey, but essentially saying to other people that anybody could walk, and just going back to like a simpler like way of life. When I finished the walk, it just gave me like more questions than anything resolved. So it just made me want to like continue to explore all these places that I just glimpsed at the start, and to just keep walking. So once a week I'm going to be at the gallery to add to the floor drawing. So this will be a chance for you to come in and like talk to me or ask me any questions about the walk. Because I think like in a walk like that, so much happens like in a day. It is impossible like to reflect it. What do you want the public to get from it? Like to go out and explore the landscape, and because like one person can't give like that whole experience. You just have to kind of make your own, don't you? So I think that could be the answer.